Coming up on Carolina News, the South Carolina women's basketball team is celebrating after winning the SEC tournament title.
You gotta finish it. You gotta suck it up. You gotta finish it. We can't afford to take you off the floor.
More from Coach Dawn Staley after the win. A local grocery store is helping people put food on the table during the COVID pandemic. The one item you can add to your shopping list to help out.
Phase 1B of the vaccine rollout starts today in South Carolina. We'll tell you who's eligible for the vaccine and just how to make an appointment. All this and more coming up on Carolina News.
From the University of South Carolina, your news, your sports, your weather. Carolina News begins now.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Tori Sloan.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Summer Rogers. This past weekend marked 1 year since the coronavirus was first detected in South Carolina.
And as the state marked that milestone, the total number of cases in the state now is more than 450,000. There have also been nearly 8,000 total COVID-related deaths.
Today, South Carolina reported over 600 new cases of COVID-19 and 4 new deaths. The testing positivity rate was 3.7%.
Those new numbers come as South Carolina starts Phase 1B of the vaccine rollout today. Anna Austin Boyers is live outside of Gamecock Park, where a whole new group of people are now eligible to get the vaccine. Anna Austin.
That's right, guys. Phase 1B of the vaccination rollout officially started in South Carolina today. I'm here at Gamecock Park, one of the largest vaccination sites in the state of South Carolina, where they're expecting larger crowds due to increased eligibility. Find out more next. Phase 1B expands vaccination access to groups such as those aged 55 or older, those with increased health risk or underlying conditions, frontline workers such as school employees, grocery store workers, law enforcement officers, and homeless shelter residents and employees. On DHEC's website, you can find a vaccine locator to find the closest vaccination site to you. Prisma Health is providing the vaccines at Gamecock Park, however, an appointment is required. Many in Phase 1B are grateful to finally be able to receive the long-awaited vaccine.
I myself am kind of high risk at the moment, so it's just like very relieving to me that I can finally have access to this and start living a normal life, sorta.
Proof of eligibility is also required, and those getting vaccinated will need to show an ID and verify if they're a frontline or essential worker, or verify they have a high-risk medical condition. If all goes well, Phase 1C is expected to begin on April 3rd and Phase 2 to begin on May 12th. Live from Gamecock Park, I'm Anna Austin Boyers.
Thanks, Anna Austin. Now that the state is in Phase 1B, the University of South Carolina is offering the vaccine to students, faculty, and staff. The university is set to receive 200 doses of the vaccine each week, but has requested an expansion to 1,000 doses a week. Student Health Services will receive the Moderna vaccine, which is approved for all people older than 18. If you're eligible, you can schedule your appointment on My Health Space. The CDC released new guidelines today for those people that have received the coronavirus vaccine. If you are fully vaccinated, you can visit other people that have gotten both shots without masks or social distancing. You can also visit single, low-risk families that have not gotten the vaccine without a mask. If you are exposed to the virus, you do not have to quarantine as long as you are asymptomatic, but in public, you should still wear your mask and social distance.
Well, it's certainly been a beautiful week, and it looks like we have more coming our way. Let's check in with Madeline outside the Kennedy Greenhouse to see how long the sunshine will stay. Madeline?
Thanks, Summer. It is a warm and beautiful, bright, sunny day here in Columbia with a slight breeze. Not much to complain about, especially for a Monday. I've seen lots of people out and about enjoying this weather, and I'm so happy to report that it seems that sunny days are here to stay, at least for this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Madeline. Prison Empire, a South Carolina drug trafficking case, has now charged the most people in a single narcotics conspiracy in the United States history. A press conference was held earlier today at the Attorney General's office addressing this issue. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson claimed that many of the crimes stemmed from inmates with illegal cell phones, allowing them to run drug rings from inside prison walls.
Again, enough is enough. Enough. And again, until we can jam these cell phones, we're not going to be able to effectively stem the tide of drugs pouring into South Carolina. It's not just...
The Attorney General and his team are calling on Congress and the telecom industry to change federal regulations allowing the state to block cell phone services around prisons. If you're a slow driver, then you might have to spend your time in the right lane. The South Carolina House passed a bill that would let police write a ticket for someone who is driving too slow in the left lane. Violators could face a $200 fine or 30 days in jail. The House did remove a 2-point penalty on the violator's driver's license before the vote last week. Now the bill heads to the Senate.
The West Columbia Fire Department is still trying to figure out the cause of a fire that affected 9 apartment units last night. Shortly after 6 p.m., firefighters responded to a fire at the Riverbanks Retreat apartment complex off Highway 378. 9 of the 12 units were impacted by the fire. West Columbia's fire chief says 2 of the units were heavily damaged, but they were able to keep it from spreading quickly.
We were able to bring it under control within about 45 minutes of arrival, and currently we have no reported injuries.
Solomon said they had help from local departments, and he doesn't know how many people were displaced. Lexington Medical Center has announced they are opening a new community medical center tomorrow. The center will offer urgent care services, x-rays, ultrasounds, physical therapy, and more. It'll be open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's the largest community medical center in the hospital's network at more than 225,000 feet and 5 stories tall.
As some Americans begin to return to normalcy, others continue to struggle with resources like putting food on the table. However, one local business is giving families a helping hand during this time. Carolina News reporter Sydney Edwards has more on how one single purchase can benefit many families in need.
It's another day at the Food Line in downtown Columbia. Focused shoppers, busy cashiers, and items waiting to be purchased. And while this produce stand appears normal, one purchase of a bag of oranges could help provide 5 meals to a family in need.
But with this promotion, customers are able to buy a bag of our Food Line Feeds labeled oranges, and based on them buying those oranges, they're able to Food Line donates.
In a collaboration with Feeding America, Food Line customers have an opportunity to help fight hunger for the entire month of March with proceeds from the specially marked bag of oranges.
We're in Columbia, so everything gets donated to the local Harvest Hope Food Bank.
Since 2014, campaigns such as this that fight to end hunger in the Midlands help provide meals for more than 750 million families. And during this time, the demand is much higher.
Harvest Hope Food Bank in Columbia is the branch that then receives the donation and admits that food insecurity has significantly increased in the Midlands.
Our lines have gotten much longer.
But campaigns such as this are what fuel volunteers to help during a time of need.
We rely on our partners like Food Lion to help us out to make sure that we have a steady food supply coming in.
And members and volunteers are grateful.
It's a blessing to be on this side of the line instead of being on that side.
Come in handy every time, never fail. Everything they give me, I eat it.
As Food Line continues to feed families one at a time. For Carolina News, I'm Sydney Edwards.
To find out how to help with this campaign or how you can volunteer at your local food bank, you can visit the Feeding America website.
Coming up next on Carolina News, it's been hard for a lot of groups to stay connected during the pandemic.
That's right, but for one crew, it's meant even more than staying social. We'll be right back.